So I guess my question is basically if I tell my dad and how I go about doing that. And yeah, I can get more into detail with how I think he would react and stuff, but
I
I guess I'd like to hear your guys'
This
thoughts
is
on that.
this is a tough situation. I've actually heard of this, and for some reason, people that are older just aren't sly about it at all. Like they always do.
Yep.
It's like they always like. It's like you kidding me? Like they don't even have the hoe phone. They don't got, and you know what I mean? It's like, okay,
I think it's
so
time to get
this.
your mom to give you a PlayStation 5.
No,
Yeah, right.
okay, real quick, like I'm not gonna put too much, shit out there, this or that, or whatever. I've experienced something pretty damn similar, and I didn't go get the PS5, but you need to just tell your dad, like, he's a grown ass man, and to be honest with you, he might know more than what you even think that he knows. Um,
Now,
and so I would just open up to your dad about it
are
and
you
talk to him.
are you sure? Are you sure that? See, I've never dealt with this, but my intuition would be to confront your mom and say that sort of the cat's out of the bag, sort of thing. And
Yeah,
how do you know that? I mean, like, without getting into too much detail, are these like pretty racy messages or
Yeah, what
what?
what are we
um
talking?
Ooh,
oh,
yeah.
she slept with multiple other people.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, that's
Multiple
definitely.
okay, sorry, I'm
And it started, by the way, like 15 years into their marriage.
Oh
So
boy. And how
it's
many
a
years are we
lot.
in now?
Uh 18, 19, something like that.
Wait, you
Are you
you're
sure it's even your dad? Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
No.
I'm very sure. Okay, I
Okay.
don't know, without getting too much detail, I've basically it's kind of I don't know if you can put yourself in my shoes, but it's kind of intimidating to, like, take action in this situation. So I've known for, like, a couple weeks, and I know a lot of information, like, I know, it started, like, once my brother and I were, like, a little older. It definitely, like, not since they got married,
I'm
but
so
yeah, it's
sorry.
it's very much so, like, I have proof, like, full on.
I'm so sorry. I
okay. Wait, but you don't seem like too distraught. Are you? Is this
Yeah, you
like how
don't.
long have you known? And do you not care about it that much? Like, what's going on with you?
Uh,
You seem very well
I'm
adjusted
thinking
for an
about that.
18-year-old who
That's the
found out
thing.
that like her mom has been cheating on her dad for like fucking 13 years, 15 years.
You would think that I've thought about how I feel like I'm almost not reacting enough. I don't know, I might have to go to, like, therapy for this later in life, but right now, I don't know, I honestly it sounds bad, but sometimes I'll be just going about my day and I, like, forget about it, and then I remember, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, there's this huge thing that, like, I need to do
Mhm.
something about, and it's, like, a big responsibility," and I don't know, it's
Um,
weird.
just to offer again my perspective on it, it might not even actually feel real to you completely because none of the repercussions have happened yet, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
kind of the scary part about talking to one of your parents about it, whichever one you choose, because then it kind of becomes real. Because right now it's
Mm,
all just over
for
text and
sure.
only you know, and you're not really sharing that with anyone. What are you leaning towards more right now? Is it talking to your dad or talking to your mom about it?
I guess it would probably be telling my dad. I almost wish I could do it in a way that, like, he doesn't have to know it's me. He has the proof, he has the
uh,
information, but, like,
okay.
that's ideally, I don't
Wh-
know,
Why do you
but
want to tell your
I just live
dad? Why do you want to tell
myself.
your dad first instead of your mom? That's the part I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you want to confront your mom first and to like try to understand what the fuck's going on there?
I guess because he's the person I feel bad for, and I feel like I owe something to him. I don't really owe anything to my mom. I also I don't know if this matters, but I don't think he would leave her. That's again, like, I don't know, I could be wrong, whatever, but I really just knowing them both, I think they would stay together, so I don't know if
I
that's
believe you
how
a lot. I believe you a lot on that, and that's exactly why I say your dad might already know more than what you think he knows.
Maybe that's what they. I mean, I don't know.
Because I mean, Hassan, even you said it like, or maybe it was Austin. Like older people are not slick with it. They're just not.
They're terrible with it. Like they
They
just like
really are.
they're like
And
on their public Instagram using
yeah,
that to DM all like the people. Like
yeah.
they don't, they don't have two-step verification. They don't get.
um Yeah, I would say I doubt it, but yeah, I guess it is a possibility.
Wait,
But
since you think this about your dad, my advice to you would be to just talk to your mom about it because it might not be as serious of a like I know this sounds crazy, but it might not be as serious of a thing as you feel it is right now because even though you are their daughter, you really don't know their levels of intimacy, especially at only 18 years old.
Do you
Um
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
I
so go
I
ahead,
mean
Austin.
do you think this is something she's doing behind his back?
We're
I
asking if you
I
think
know
your
it
mom is
is.
a swinger and your dad knows or not.
No, I know for a fact they're not in an open relationship, and I know my mom doesn't think my dad knows, at the very least. There's
What
that.
makes you think that?
She said that. I
Right.
One of the messages said that he
Hmm.
doesn't. Jesus, even
But
man.
I mean, she could just also think highly of her skills and thinks that your dad is actually clueless and maybe your dad's dealing with like his own shit and doesn't want to confront it himself either. So,
Do
I
you
don't
have
know.
any inclination to believe that maybe your dad? I mean, your dad's not doing anything either, is he?
um I mean, I kind of I don't know. I mean, there's like nothing that's led me to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, I guess there's no real way to prove he's not either. But I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. In confidence, I don't know whether. I'll be honest, respectfully, I'm not sure what you do in this situation. I don't know if you go to your dad or you go to your mom. I don't know what you do. I don't know what the right thing to do is. It's a very unfortunate position to be in that you've been put in. Um, and I'm not sure what I would do. Adept, it seems like she's had, I mean, whatever context to this, maybe a little bit more than I have.
Mhm.
But
Why were
and
you
Chad
reading your
obviously
mom's
is doing it.
DMs?
I mean, to be completely honest, like I wasn't supposed to. Like you can call that immoral or whatever, but like
No, no, no.
I
That's
saw
not.
her phone.
I'm assuming that
I
you
saw her
suspected.
phone.
Did you suspect that she
Yeah,
was
I
cheating? Is that
knew
what?
yeah, kind of. I knew like she like talks about like friends she has online or whatever, but it's like kind of like weird and yeah, I just like kind of looked at her phone, but yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
My advice, your first step of dealing with this whole situation, because it is going to be a whole entire situation and maybe even at some point life changing for all of you. But I would just start with your mom and don't be scared. Try and be just strong and try and be mature and adult about it because I think one thing that we do as children too is kind of like um I don't know the right word for this, but like fantasize what our parents' relationship is or should be. And then you kind of start to just understand them more, understand what's happening. I'm not saying that like cheating is okay and that they both know and they're both okay with it. That's not what I'm saying at all, but it's just gonna be layers to this whole situation.
Yeah.
They might learn to deal
Definitely.
with it, but it's better to know from your dad's point of view probably than not know. Ultimately, it's definitely better for your father to know that this is happening than not know. I assume this is way outside of my purview. I mean, I do not have anything that is even anywhere near this. I have no
mm,
experience that I can relate to. So I'll be honest, and I assume that it's still like I want to say go. You should talk to a professional about this, but also like how the fuck. I mean the damage isn't done yet, so I don't know.
Hmm.
It's not like
Yeah,
your
I'm gonna
parents
like tell
found out and there
her
was a falling out, and now you're like dealing with that, and now you feel responsible for it personally. You know what I mean? It's not like that happened already, and now you're gonna go to therapy for it. It's just. So I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like this is a lot for an 18-year-old to have to handle though.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
for
wanna, like,
sure.
also bring down the mood of everyone or anything, like,
well, this is what we're here for,
I'll
right?
figure
I
it
mean,
I know, I'll figure it out,
well, no, we're not trying to
but
tell you that. No, we're happy that you shared it with us.
I'm saying is I'm proud of you for being very like taking this seriously like an adult and
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
freaking out about it to a degree that it's like kind of confusing to me almost.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's why I just kind of, like, knew that it could have a really big impact on my life, I guess, so I kind of I'm almost, like, sitting on it and, like, really trying to think it through because I know once I do something, you can't really take it back, which I guess is why I'm kind of asking you guys and, because
you,
I can't really
oh
ask
wait,
people in
are
my
you trying to
personal
figure out
life.
if you should? Are you trying to get us to give you the go ahead to go tell your dad, or not tell anyone and keep it a secret? Because I feel like keeping it a secret is not good for your dad, and it's definitely not good for you as well. But revealing this information will then leave you feeling like you were responsible for whatever comes next. But what you could potentially do is maybe schedule some sort of like, family counseling, or some sort of like relationship therapy where you're a part of the session as well, and then you drop that hot load right there on
Yeah,
that session, so that like it's not, you don't have to burden everything, like you don't have to shoulder the entire responsibility. I think that could potentially be a good way to do it, with like having a mediator there, and then like a professional relationship counselor that would be able to help you out in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good idea. I'd have to figure that out. As much as I'm like scared of doing anything, I do like really feel moral responsibility, I guess, to tell my dad because I don't know. I don't
Mhm.
think you can just be in a, I don't know, even, I don't know, it's kind of a question because right now, if he doesn't know, then he's kind of happy. And, this could like, I don't know, but I do think I have to tell him, even if it,
I
messes some things up.
I completely agree with you, and I'm not trying to steer you away from not talking to your dad. Like when I said you should talk to your mom first, I mean like talk to your mom first, like at 8 a.m. and then tell your dad at like noon. Do you know what I mean? Like just so you
Yeah.
have the
Just
facts and all that. But
all I'm gonna say is this last thing. Regardless of what you saw in those messages, your mom and dad might still know. And what I mean by
mhm.
that is like, not that your dad knows and is avoiding it. I mean like literally, this is a very weird thing to tell someone about their parents, but like
No,
that.
respectfully, I asked my mom, I said, "Are you guys in an open relationship?" Just I it wasn't I
Oh
did
wait,
say
what? So
that
your
and she's
mom knows that you're
Oh, you just
suspicious?
no, I don't know how to describe this. It sounds so weird. Like I my mom and I don't know, maybe we're kind of close, whatever. It's a very weird relationship now, whatever, but I asked her that without saying I knew about other stuff and she said, "No, like, of course not. No, your dad and I
ooh.
love each other. We would, we're not. Why would you ask that?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I was just wondering. I saw
Wait,
something. I
but
don't
your
know."
mom's
And
not
I,
gonna tell you
she's got to
anyway.
be.
You're your mom's daughter. That's not happening. She's not gonna tell you. What I was simply trying to say is that like she might be like hot wifing. You know what I mean? She might be like increasing the intensity of the like the sexual experience, and that's why she's like saying racy shit like, "Oh, he doesn't know," blah blah blah. That's why I was saying it, but she's not gonna tell you that anyway. Like
yeah.
that's not like something you should be
Hold
um
on, but I'm gonna address
Wait.
the chat. Chat, you don't fucking know. We don't know. We're just trying to give advice here. We just, like you guys fucking know the situation, like exactly how it's gonna be broken down.
Yeah,
You know what I
chat's
mean?
going
Like, come
full
on.
blown like
Yeah,
control
like
mode
you,
over it.
we're going through all the possibilities, and you guys are acting like it's a matter of fact
yes, because
issue.
they're fucking stupid. I promise
Yeah,
you,
they are.
the best thing to do is never to look at chat. Just let them
Yep.
fucking screech for hours on end. It literally doesn't matter.
Yep.
They have a hive mind. Once you said that, now they're
Yeah.
gonna fucking shit on you every time you open your mouth. So just don't look at what they're
No, they
saying.
won't.
If
They
they
won't.
like you, they will say like, "Oh, dude, you're great. We love you, Austin." If they don't like you, now they're gonna fucking yell at you. The point is, I think the mediator thing is the move here. That's I feel like that's the best possible thing to do, because you need to not shoulder this entire burden on your own. It's not something that an 18-year-old should deal with. So, like I said, if you have a mediator or a counselor or like a relationship advisor or something like that that is also playing a role here, that could be a good idea. Instead of like dropping this on your dad personally.
Mhm.
Do you have a
Yeah,
relative that you
okay.
can rely on that is like liked by both
Or
parties?
sibling.
That's maybe like a good.
Um, I don't really know. I don't know about any relatives. Again, my brother's like 14, so this like affects his life too, and I kind of have to think about that.
God.
But yeah, I agree that the mediator thing, I'll definitely take that into consideration. You guys have definitely given me a lot to think about. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you for coming and sharing.
Ask your mom to go to a therapist, and then tell your therapist, because you're 18 years old, she doesn't need to like reveal any information to your mom. Tell your therapist like the situation and ask them for advice, and they could probably have a relationship counselor that they could literally suggest to your parents, and under the guise of like their best medical advice, if you don't know how to get a relationship counselor or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Laura,
Thank you.
all memes aside from me, like, at the end of the day, we're on a show, so sometimes I kind of just throw in like dumbass, smartass comments here and there. But like I said, I've been through something extremely similar to this. And if you ever feel like you need someone to talk to that, is not too involved and not family and not gonna like hold it over your head or your family's head, like please feel free to reach out to me personally. Like my DMs are open, and I just feel for you because I've been there in that kind of weird situation.
And no matter what happens, remember, it is not your fault, okay?
Exactly, yeah.
You should constantly remind yourself of this. You might not be thinking about it at all at this point, but those bad thoughts might come creeping in somewhere down the line, but it's literally not your fault. It is never your fault. You did nothing wrong. No matter which way you go in this decision, you did not do anything wrong here.
Yeah. Well, I am okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Adept. That means a lot. And thanks to all of you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. Good luck.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hassan,
What's up?
how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Fiona, come here.
Good.
Yeah, it's not her fault. It's her mom's fault.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Let's see.
Hassan, do you want to put a cap on like the rest of people?
I mean, how much longer do Adept and Austin want to stay on for? We can keep going for a little bit longer.
Mhm.
I need to. I think I gotta go after the next one because I've got. Well, actually, shit. My food is just. You know what? I can eat while I do this. I think. Let's see. Hold on. Where is it?
Because
we
we
can keep
have
going.
those 5 people, and that's it.
Okay,
All right.
that's perfect. Let's cap it at
Up
5.
to you,
then.
Hassan. Whatever you want.
I can go a couple more.
Okay. So the next person's Embo. Oops, didn't drag. Embo, you're back on stream.
I'm such a terrible liar. I
Yeah,
really do
Austin,
have to
you don't have to stay, brother. If you want to leave,
No,
it's
I
fine.
have food. I have food though. I literally
Go
have
grab
food
your
that's about to
food.
be
How
here,
are we
but I'm
gonna know? You're not
eat.
even on camera.
Well, I know, but I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna talk.
It's fine. You can do it. I did it
I'll be
earlier.
honest with you. I've got a socially distanced hot tub date that I gotta go to right after this. But we'll be 6 feet. We'll be
Okay,
6
don't
feet
worry about
apart
it.
in
Don't
the
worry
hot
about it.
tub.
Just like no
I thought you
pressure.
were supposed to do that if you're not gay.
No, it's just a. All right. Anyway, but
no matter
we'll-
whenever you want to leave, it's all good. Just
I got a
just
couple.
say it.
I got a couple of
6 feet apart because we're not
6
gay.
feet out. It's a very big hot tub.
Okay,
It's a
yeah,
meme. I'm
Lamborghini
sorry if you've
owner,
never seen
Lamborghini
it.
owner type hot tub. We got it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Wait, real quick. Have you never seen that meme, Austin?
No, I had never.
Oh
no,
my
I
god,
haven't.
I'm sending it.
You
Okay,
gotta
sorry.
send it
Let's
to-
begin.
Okay, let's
Welcome back, Embo.
I do have to tinkle though, but
All right, go do your
Embo,
thing. Go do your thing. It's all good.
No, I want to listen to this. So Embo, go ahead. Welcome aboard. Your mic's muted though.
Okay, hello again. Just call me M, not Embo, please.
All right.
Got it.
You got it.
So, I'm 22, and I've been with my boyfriend for 4 years. Love him a lot, but as time goes on, I am realizing that maybe we aren't like very well matched in terms of future stuff, because I am like very driven and have like a lot of goals for what I want to do, and it's not really a problem for me that he doesn't have that, but I think that that can sometimes leak into the relationship, in which I end up being the one putting in more effort into the relationship most of the time. And so I kind of want to get your guys' take on whether I should give it another chance to like
You feel like you're
properly try and work on it, or just to be like, it's not gonna work.
Have you had this discussion with him before?
Multiple times.
Oh, and nothing's changing.
Yeah.
And this is like, is this a sticking point for you? It seems as if if this can't change, it can't you can't move forward with it.
Yeah, essentially. Because it's so difficult because we've been through a lot together. Um, and I'm really close with his family because my family is kind of trash. Um, and so the other thing about like if we weren't together, I would lose like a core part of my support system.
Mm, mm, mm.
But also like I don't want to be in a relationship where I don't feel uh like I'm being treated as well as I should. Like I think I'm a
what?
catch. I think I'm a snack. I'm a catch. I'm
I
like I'm a great girlfriend.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's Austin. Oh,
I'm yeah.
And you should think that. You should, and that's an important feeling to have. Do you feel like they have the same level of confidence with themselves?
um, maybe not. It's very like newfound over quarantine. I've kind of like had a lot of time to self-reflect and work on myself and like realize that all of like my childhood trauma doesn't have to impact who I am now.
Mhm.
Um, and so now I see myself as like a hot bitch. But
Yeah.
Love
but
that.
Yes.
prior to that, I was just like I like thought of myself as like the type of person where you walk past them on the street and like you wouldn't even recognize them, you know what I mean? Like even if you'd met them before, it'd just be like, oh, that's just a random person.
Okay.
Um,
I gotta say some stuff. This is gonna be
I'll be right back.
a little. This might be a little hurtful, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
mm,
Okay. It seems like you really like this person. It seems like you've been in a loving relationship for a 4-year period. But what you've ended up liking more is, at the very least, it seems like, is a support system that you've built around this other person's family. It seems a little.
yeah.
It seems like you've built some level of codependency on not your
Mhm.
partner, which is inherently unhealthy, regardless, and doesn't go along with the hot bitch lifestyle that you were saying earlier. And I think that's a good thing that you have developed that confidence. But it's certainly something that you need to build within yourself, because relationships are, they're not forever, and it seems like you already have a lot of issues after 4 years, like very serious ones, with not being able to change your change like a core plank or a fundamental part of your partner's lifestyle choices. So
Yeah.
no matter what happens, it feels like you should probably build a better support system that is not reliant on your partner's family.
Well,
Um,
I have like a really good support system of friends. It's
that's
I
good.
think like more my main support system really is my closest friends. But because in terms of like a familial support system, because I don't have that in my own family at all, um, they have filled that role, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and so in my head, the idea of not having that at all is rough.
Sometimes though, like our partners will use that as a way of like, oh, but I contribute this, so like, oh, they get complacent with that knowledge of what you just said. Because I know, like, for one of my exes, a big reason why I did not want to leave and I gave him so many chances is because I loved like the shit out of his family and we all got along so
Yeah.
well, and like it was just such a good time, and it's exactly what you would want, the family of
Yeah.
your significant other to be.
Yeah.
But he just did not know how to act. Like, he did not know how to perform or act, or like, and I just couldn't take it. And it sucked because you are breaking up with the whole family, and I think it will be important to kind of make that disconnection, even if it's only temporary, from all of them.
Yeah.
But you seem very confident and sure of yourself, and you have to have faith that you'll be strong enough to do that.
Yeah.
And if you look, it's hard enough to find a good relationship to begin with, but then developing a healthy relationship with the family of your partner is really, really difficult. So if you're able to do that, then I mean, you've already been able to do that, which means that like you're going to be able to do that again if worse comes to worse. And if your question
Yeah.
here is like, should I break up with this person despite the fact that I love him, even though he's clearly like he clearly has like this relationship has reached an end that to the compromise that I can give to my partner.
Yeah.
But the family is preventing me from doing so because I'm afraid that like I'm going to lose the family. Then that's not a good enough that's not a good enough reason to stay in the relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I don't know. Sorry, I'm a bit emotional.
I mean, you're like living through a breakup. Nobody's expecting you to like not be
I mean,
emotional.
she's
Like,
not breaking
I
up
get it.
yet, right? I mean, you're not.
I mean,
Not yet.
she's,
Not
but
yet.
mentally, you're kind of there. Like, these are the steps of a
This
breakup. Like
this is
crying by
like the pre-step.
yourself. Yeah, crying by yourself, thinking about it, feeling let down, the disappointment. Like, it's getting there. Like, it might not be a forever breakup, or maybe not a
Well,
full on breakup, but things are gonna change because you
we
can't
had
go on feeling like this right now.
we had broken up for 6 months, like, a couple of years ago, and then in that breakup, I had gotten to a point where I was a bit more self-confident and, like, just kind of doing my own thing, like, dating around, happy, and then all of a sudden, he was like, "Oh, like, I miss you so much, I wanna get back together," whereas, like, the first 3 months of not being together, I was like, "Oh, please just take me back," and then the last 3 months, I was like, "Nah, fuck this."
Mhm.
Um, and then once I had gotten to a point where I was like, "Fuck this," he essentially was like, "Wait, no."
Yeah, that's very unhealthy. I'm gonna be honest once
Mhm.
again. I'm gonna be radically honest with you. That is super
Yeah,
duper
please.
unhealthy. No, you gotta. No,
Yeah.
if it's at any point, if a relationship is making you feel the way that it is right now, then it's not a. That's over. There's not a healthy relationship. Your relationship is supposed to be a partnership where equal partners are putting in as much as they're taking out of it. And it seems like
Yeah.
that it seems like your partner is unwilling to compromise and only acting like they are interested in compromise when you literally pull back. And
Mhm.
they might even be aware of the the fact that you are reliant on their family, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's why they're doing it. They're basically uh, your partner's basically just using this as an opportunity to just remain complacent within the relationship, which is ironically the reason why you felt like you weren't getting enough out of the relationship to begin with. Their complacency,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, they're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
that.
This
Mhm.
he's very complacent, and it's also difficult. New Year's Eve is the anniversary of one of our closest friends like, he, like, suddenly died on New Year's Eve, and so this time of year is awful for us all anyway, and then on top of 2020 being 2020, it's just, like, all compiled to a point where I'm like, "I don't think that this is gonna change," and
Mhm.
I wanna, like, have enough self-respect to be like, "I deserve to be treated the way that I'm treating you."
Yeah,
That's the key right there.
I think you
Yep.
got to rip that band-aid. You got to rip
Yep.
that band-aid off. It
Do I
seems like
do I do it before New Year's or after New Year's?
When you feel like it's
Yeah,
time, I
whenever
mean,
you
we
feel
can't tell you
comfortable.
like break up with him right now. Call him on, call him on the phone. Do it now. Like whatever you feel like is the perfect timing to do it. I mean, and it might be right after you hang up with us.
Mm.
That's
Or it
on
might be
you. You
after
know,
New Year's. Yeah, it's
yeah,
just up
it
to
might be
you.
in a month. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
whatever you feel like. I would. I mean, I'm a fighter. Like I'll try and make things work with someone until it hits me in the face. It's just absolutely not going to work. So, I mean, I maybe try and hear him out, maybe hear what he has to say, but you'll know in your heart, and you'll know for sure whether you believe him or not, regardless of what he does or
Yeah.
does not say. You will know, and you have to believe yourself.
Yeah. I think the main thing is we both just don't we both want completely different things out of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's
No matter
hard
what happens, though,
because
remember, it's not going to be easy. Like, this is not going to be an easy breakup. Breakups are never easy, right? Especially after a long relationship, especially when there's so much attached to it. So remember that, like, that is not going to be an easy thing to do. But you're going to take it step by step after, just like after every loss. You're going to take it day by day. And eventually, you are going to look back at this and probably feel a lot happier that, 3 months, 4 months down the line, that you're so much happier that you have your own freedom and that you have your own individual goals, and you're going to find someone that is an infinitely better fit for you
Mm-hmm.
than
yeah.
your current partner. If your relationship has ended or regressed or went to a point where it feels like you guys have reached an inevitable conclusion at some point, we're trying to fight back and return to the normalcy that you rely on is never a healthy thing. It's usually, it makes you feel healthy. It makes you feel happy for a little bit, maybe, because you have that comfort of experiencing something that familiarity gives you comfort.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
That's
that doesn't mean that it's healthy, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
that's precisely why you should probably start moving on as
Yeah.
quickly as you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, you're very young and well adjusted, so I think you're gonna be all right regardless.
I don't even know if it's well adjusted. I think it's more of a situation of had to grow up fast.
Yeah, but
You know what
remember,
I mean?
I do know what you mean, but remember the original. What's the best way to put this? The original reasons as to why you found yourself so close to this person's family, and how that became a burden almost on your on doing what is best for you. That
Mhm.
factor is not going to change unless you change something within yourself, which is why I was saying, like,
Yeah.
focus on yourself and even build your confidence further and build your support system further, and
Yeah.
don't rely on relationships down the line, or the relation or the family of your partner down the line,
Yeah.
True.
because you're having any sort of reliance on your partner is already unhealthy, but your partner's family on top of that, to look for like an experience that you may not have had in your an experience that you may not have had when you were younger. Well, that's really, really unhealthy. So
Yeah.
definitely, confidence comes from within, and you just got to work on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Thank
true.
you.
I take back what I said earlier. I think breakup is inevitable at this point. Like, yeah,
I mean, if you
it's
guys have had it already, like if you experienced
yeah,
it once, like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just seems like he doesn't care. Well,
I'm
we'll
sorry to
see.
hear that. You
I
got
hope that was
this.
helpful.
Thanks.
Sometimes, yeah. Thank you, Embo. Or
Thanks, Austin.
Thanks,
How's your
Austin.
food? How's your food, Austin?
I've been listening this entire time. It's great. I had some salmon with some shrimp and rice. Um,
Lit.
yeah, I feel for you. Been there before.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Sorry for being a mess.
No, it's okay. Please,
I
this is
love
the
it.
place to be a mess. It's a safe space.
Yep.
A safe space of over 20,000 people.
Yes, believe me. All these guys, they're all checked out. We
None
had
of them
security.
matter. Only we matter.
That's right.
True. True.
All right.
Just kidding, chat. Just kidding.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Hassan, I'm going to depart.
Okay.
But thank you for having me.
Thanks, Austin, for
Thanks for
being
coming
here.
on, dude.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Is this where I shout myself out or?
Yeah, shout your channel out, brother.
At twitch.tv/Austin Show. I mean, can I plug something that's happening?
No, go ahead. Please do.
I mean, this Wednesday, Soda Poppin' Lover Host featuring his mom making all the decisions.
Pogg!
Very exciting. So anyway, thank you for letting me plug that, by the way. It's
No
either
problem.
that or
Thanks for coming on,
Yeah.
dude. Anytime.
yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Bye, Adept. Pleasure to
Bye, Austin.
give advice with you.
Same to you.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye, Froggin.
Bye, Austin.
Bye.
You want to keep going just us two, or did you want to
Yeah, I can
call
do
it,
that.
or how you feeling?
We
Alright,
can
cool.
keep doing.
Yeah.
We can keep going. I mean, I was gonna try to go through these.
Yeah.
These
Hey,
by
I'm good for as
myself.
long as you need me. You're chilling.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
All right.
Okay.
Wow, Ninjite is back from his ban and aching for another. Nice, Ninjite. Very cool. That's a 3-day ban that did not
Love
stop
to
you,
see
huh?
that, don't you?
7-day ban now.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. The next person is 7-8 ass. Okay, 7-8 ass, you're on stream.
Great name. Mike's muted.
Hello.
Still muted.
7-8 ass.
Till this
Your
day.
mic is muted.
Maybe he's sad Austin left because Austin was doing all that eating ass talk earlier. Is that what
Alright.
it is, 7? You good?
Well, I'm gonna put him out.
Next
Okay.
caller.
Now we're gonna do North Paul. North Paul, you're on stream. Please unmute.
All right, you gotta turn
Mute
off
your
your
stream.
stream. We can hear you, North Paul.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. 1 second, I'll mute it. Okay, I muted it. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you. What's up?
Okay, cool. So hold on a second. My cat is, of course, choosing now to jump up on me.
It'd be like that
So
sometimes.
I wanted to ask, what's that?
I said it'd be like that sometimes. What's up, North
Yeah,
Paul?
yeah. It's like she's been sleeping for this whole time. So a little background. Let's see. I don't even know where to start. So my main question is, it's how to get back into a relationship after coming out of an abusive relationship. I was in. I kind of had a similar situation as some of the callers in my early 20s, where like I was kind of isolated and not in relationships and stuff, and I'd fallen into a pretty deep substance abuse problem. And that's all, it's obviously a struggle all the time, but that's been I've been sober for years now. So I ended up meeting a girl in 2009, and after a little over a year we got married. Year and a half after that, we had a daughter. And then in 2016 we separated, and throughout the relationship it just got kind of worse and worse in terms of the like the abusive side of it, in terms of like emotional, verbal abuse, a little bit of physical stuff. Um, and after that, it was kind of like, all right, well, I'm fine being by myself. I have my daughter here. Um, and it's kind of this balance of like, well, I'm a musician, so like as long as work is happening, I like what I do. And that's kind of gone now with the shutdowns. The money is like, I'm constantly several months behind on rent, so like everything else that was kind of holding me together is gone, and I've started been thinking about relationships again. And I know you had mentioned in the past about having possibly some, I don't know what the details are, but relationships that were not on the healthy side. And I was wondering how you dealt with that. I've been on a therapy waiting list for like 7 months. I know this is probably like a therapy thing, but my insurance is really limited, so I'm kind of just stuck waiting for if they do call me.
I mean, first of all, right off the bat, like I think relationships that are the healthiest happen when you're not actively seeking one out. In my personal experience,
100% agree on that.
And that always happens when you have a level of security and a level of confidence that you built within yourself. And if your life is already chaotic, as understandably is, as many people are experiencing financial hardship and struggling overall, then trying to set up a relationship on top of that is not exactly the best time to do that. And focusing on, because then it's not even really for the right reasons. Like, a relationship is not supposed to be it's not supposed to be a crutch, right?
Right.
It's supposed to be someone who in your someone who's supposed to be helpful at the best of times and in the worst of times, but often uh, someone that you would want to be with when you met them when you're more comfortable. Okay. And
Yeah, that's kind of how it started. Getting out of my whole isolationist stuff was working on myself, and it'd come out of a really bad situation at first, but it kind of freed me up to work on myself more. And I know, like, no one is well. I know some people who found relationships since March, but I'm not expecting to like go find a relationship or something. But just thinking ahead, it's almost like even with friends and stuff, I've gradually been kind of withdrawing, and like almost feel like the capacity to trust is kind of heavily damaged at this point. um and I didn't know if like you had any personal experience that you like how to deal with that or anything. um
well, what I do is very unhealthy. When I when I get out of, or in the past when I've gotten out of like abusive or unhealthy or toxic relationships, I just would throw myself into a spiral of having as much sex as possible, and that's not necessarily a healthy way of dealing with it. One of my friends once told me, and this dude was a frat bro too, which is, it's funny that he gave me this incredible advice that was really true. Is that um, he said that when you get out of a very serious and loving relationship, the best thing to do is not necessarily to throw yourself or throw just uncontrolled endless amounts of sex at the problem, because that's not going to put a dent in the issue. But you have to let yourself feel emotions, and the only way
yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
will truly get over it, or the only way that you will truly repair what's broken, is when you inevitably heal yourself and then find someone else that you can truly love again. Which is weird coming from, and I'm not even kidding, this was literally like a frat bro, like a very fratty frat bro, but he was right. And that only happens when you find yourself in a more comfortable position, when you're working on yourself, and that comes with time.
Yeah. I figured it was a time related thing. After 4 years, and this has been a weird year too, obviously, so it's not a good time to evaluate it. I'm probably not thinking about it at the right time and everything, but
Also, this is a terrible time to meet new people, I think. I
Yeah.
mean, for
seriously,
me at least, it's definitely a terrible time,
yeah.
regardless of whatever struggles or hardships that you're experiencing. Even if you were
Right.
fucking caked up, it would not be a good time to fucking meet new people, unfortunately. Like, where are you going to meet them? You can't go to the
I have
bar.
no idea, 'cause before, when I met my ex-wife, I've never used a dating app. I wasn't a dad at the time, so I guess I'll figure it out at some point.
It's a
But
good
it's pretty
opportunity,
different.
though, for you to spend more time with your daughter and spend more time on
Oh,
yourself. And
oh, yeah. In terms of like parenting and stuff, that's the one thing I do feel good about, is that I feel like I'm a pretty good dad for her and all of that. So there is one good thing with the shutdowns, is the extra time I get to spend.
yeah. So the best advice I can give you in these sorts of circumstances is to, it's so cliche, it almost feels cliche, but like, work on yourself.
Mhm.
Um, you know, just live life in the fullest way that you want to, without ever considering ever considering a relationship at all. Um
Yeah, yeah.
and focus on solving the issues that you're going through right now, piece by piece, bit by bit, by focusing on like some of the smaller, more manageable tasks at first,
Mhm.
setting up short-term goals for yourself, and then and then maybe tackling larger issues slowly but surely. And in the process, when you get to a certain point, when you're more comfortable and when you're happier, and your hormones are balanced and everything is going well, you will inevitably find someone. And that probably will also correspond to the timeline where, like, the vaccine is out, and maybe we'll reach herd immunity by that stage. But
Yeah.
try to look for happiness in a support system outside of a relationship potentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very much in line with what everything Hassan is saying, and just to offer you the smallest token moving forward, um, something that I guess helped me is just always assure yourself that, because let's say we're talking in future terms, right? You've
Mhm.
done the work, you've worked on yourself, you've improved, you learned your lessons, like what went wrong, what were the problems, like what can you avoid in the future, and so on and so forth.
True. True.
And remind yourself that, like, your new partner or the new people that you will eventually date are not your ex. Like, you can't not trust them in certain ways just because you couldn't trust your ex in that way. Like, you have to
Mm.
evaluate them and accept them for who they are.
Right. Right. That makes sense. Yeah. I guess after such a long relationship, and that was really my only serious long-term relationship too. So, like I was thinking when I forget a few calls back when Will was offering that advice about casual hookups and whatnot, uh, putting too much importance on them and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Casual
So
hookups are
yeah.
never good, especially after a certain age. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have a daughter. Age is the age, no matter what age it is, where casual hookups are just like, nope, like they're not
Yeah. I don't.
fulfilling. I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about, like, I used to do this when I was like fucking 22. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
like they were fun when I was younger, but they weren't necessarily healthy, and definitely not to the level that I was engaging in it. And it took me a while to recognize that I was chasing after something in order to fill a hole within myself that I would do better off repairing it by other means. Um,
Uh huh.
and that always came from, for me at least, it always comes from progressing and bettering myself and constantly comparing myself to who I was a year prior, a month prior, a week prior,
Mm.
even a day before. But it's almost like a video game. Like, it's the way I treat life to a certain degree, where I want to constantly level up, and leveling up your dating skills is not necessarily something that you need to focus your points on, and it's much better to focus on yourself. Boost your vitality stats, boost your strength,
Yep.
boost your int levels. Why am I doing this gaming advice? Why am I giving you advice from the point of view of gaming? I don't know, but
What's the
even if
text
you,
Hey,
build?
that's exactly how I look at
yeah,
relationships. I remember in like high school, the one of the teachers was kind of talking to us. He's like, "Oh, when it comes to relationships, you always take a step up. It's like walking upstairs. You always step up." But as obviously I got older and more experienced with relationships myself, I mean, that takes work because you have to decide, like, okay, what am I in control of? What am I going to change so that I'm never in that position again and my dating life does step up? And
Yeah.
it's helped me so far. I mean, I think it was a good method to put in place.
Yeah. That makes sense. And I think I was putting importance on stuff that, even though obviously like work and money are important, that shouldn't be where I'm putting my worth either. So that's worth thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
work and money
Well,
are
thank you.
only as important as it offers you freedom and comfort, but work and money are only as important as how happy it makes you. Like,
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean,
after a certain point, when you establish any sort of like freedom or any sort of independence, work and money are only as important as it makes you feel better
yeah,
about
for
yourself.
sure. If I can pay rent, then I don't,
Yeah.
need piles of cash, like just basic living expenses. but I forget who. There was not this will be my last thing, but there's some statement or somebody who said something about there's like this hierarchy of what you focus on, and like if basic needs aren't met, then you don't look towards like deeper
Maslow's
level.
hierarchy of needs.
What's the first word?
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh, Maslow. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I heard it on your stream or not, but I was thinking about that too, because it seems to be partially true, if not totally true, in any case. But I appreciate the advice. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, sure.
And thank you for sharing your story. I think it's an important thing to be vocal about, and I respect you for that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, because I don't really have anyone to talk to. Like I talked to my dad about this stuff a lot when he was still alive. He's been gone for a long time now. So just having somebody to get input from is really appreciated. And I'll give a big peepo hey to the offline chat. And give me some chances to try not to laugh as I'm talking here.
Well,
Take
thanks
care,
again,
North.
man.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Take care.
All right. We have 3 more people left, Morgan.
Yep. The next person is Anemos. Please unmute your mic.
Oh, hi.
What's up?
Does my mic sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Okay. So I'll just start. You can call me Thomas, by the way.
All right, Thomas.
Okay.
Basically, I've been dating this girl for 3 years now, over 3 years. We started dating in sophomore year of high school, and this year I started college. It's my freshman year. But basically, we had to start thinking about our future together. And like before we thought like, we're pretty similar people and we have like a lot of the same ideas and stuff, which is why we get along so well. I think we have a pretty healthy relationship, but we started to realize we have some like different thoughts or things we want in the future. So basically for an example, like after college, I kind of want to live in a city or like farther away from where we live right now, just because I kind of want to like experience different things and like see what's out there. And also I later on in life, because we're pretty committed to each other and we're thinking about maybe one day getting married or something, which sounds like I guess a little like preemptive, but I mean we both really like each other. So and like I want to have kids one day, but she's really against having children at all. So
Wait,
but,
you're 18 though, right?
no, I'm 19.
Oh, you're 19, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's really. I don't want to come across as like infantilizing or anything, but like, dude, you're 19. What are you doing? Like, look, man. When I was 19 years old, I was like, just thinking about, debating my friends on fucking whether buffalo chicken pizza is better than barbecue ranch. Like, you're a kid still. Like, I'm a kid still. I'm fucking 29 years old and I'm brain dead. Like, there's no reason. There is no reason for you to have these conversations at all. This should not even occupy your brain. It should not be taking up any space in your mind whatsoever.
I mean, ideally, Hassan, I agree.
Also,
with you.
buffalo is
Like,
better, but
yeah, agreed. But like, I'm down your path, and that's exactly how I operate. That's exactly how I'd want my friends to operate. But I mean, at the same time, Anema's like, I mean, are you in? Fuck, I don't know. I don't think
No,
it's
there's
too
no
bad
way.
to have these thoughts. I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's not
Well,
that bad, but there's just
It's
no
not
way that
ideal,
you're.
but it's not bad.
There's no way
Well-
that before your brain is like fully developed, the dating. Like, I think Hollywood creates a really awful perception, and even like organized religion contributes to this as well, where we assume that like we meet our high school sweethearts, and then we get fucking married to them, and we live happily ever after. When in fact that's like the less likely scenario. Like you
I
gotta let your
personally hate anyone that's like, yeah, high school sweethearts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, no
I
disrespect,
just
but
like not the
I
shit
hate
on
that
your
shit because
relationship. Not the shit on your
yeah, because the
relationship.
thing is, like,
Yeah.
as a 26-year-old, like, I look back and I was such a fucking idiot at 18 because I was in
Yeah.
the same situation where I dated this guy for like 4 years, and I was like, I was ready for like, yeah, let's get married one day. Like, yeah, this will be cool. Like, I'm settled in, but like now as an adult and being so far from that person that I was at 18, I'm happy that that didn't work out. I'm
Well,
very
it's not even
happy.
about like getting married or anything. It's more like after college because I have a lot of credits, so I'm gonna graduate probably in a year or so. So
Okay, are you
I
doing that specifically to speed up the process and like be with your girlfriend again?
no. I did a program in high school, so I had a lot of extra credits, so I'm gonna graduate early. But it's not even about um like being with her or getting married or anything. It's more about um like c- if it's worth it to like continue the relationship with her if like these are different things that we want in the future because I feel like we still have a lot in common right now, but
Yeah, but you
like
guys
this
are
is
gonna
like
grow still. Like you guys are still gonna
Mm-hmm.
grow up. Dude, you are gonna be so different as a person in the next 10 years. Like looking
Yeah.
back at who I was as a person at the age of 19 is like laughable. I'm a whole ass different person. Okay. And that's going to happen to you as well. It's gonna happen maybe not to the same degree, but to a like you're gonna change a lot. Your interests are
Yep.
gonna change a lot. Like there is no speed running life. Because
And so is she.
remember, and
mm,
yes, exactly, her as well. Remember, like at the end of the speed run, we die. So where are you rushing? Like enjoy the fucking journey. You're in college. You should be experimenting. You should be having fun. Dip your toe in different waters. Don't
Exactly.
don't lock yourself into this relationship because that's you're setting
And
yourself up
Emma's
for failure.
you're sitting here and you're telling me and Hassan that it's not really about the marriage thing and it's not really about that. But there's like red sirens going off in our heads right now because everything that you're telling us and everything that you're talking about, it technically is because you want to be set up with someone that you know for sure like you're gonna marry down the line. But in reality, you're so young that if the relationship is working, then just let it work. Grow yourself, even though you're in this relationship, and prosper and enjoy the things that life has to offer to you right now as a young person. And don't I wouldn't be too caught up in the whole idea of like, oh well, she doesn't want kids one day, so I don't know, that's kind of scary for me.
Like what kids? You're a kid. You shouldn't be thinking about
Yeah.
kids at all, dude. I'm 29. I'm not thinking about kids. What the fuck? Like,
okay. I feel like I just like I sometimes kind of worry about these things. So
dude, there's no
um
reason to worry about these things, brother.
Yep.
I
I don't
promise
think you
you.
have to at all.
Like when you're worrying about these things at the like if you're worrying about these things, oftentimes at the age of 19 when you're worrying about kids, you're worrying about them because you fucked up, not because you're like trying to make
Yeah.
sure that like make sure that you have like you're on the right path. Like you're operating life like you are an IB or an AP student and you're
Yep.
trying to like set everything up ahead of time, and that's not how
mhm.
life is supposed to be like, and that's not even a wonderful life to experience anyway. Like you're gonna I mean just picture yourself 20 years down the line like white knuckling your relationship because you got locked into a
Yeah.
family with a girl that you knew at the age of 19 that is going to be a drastically different person at that point. But just because you set up all of your cards in advance doesn't mean that they're going to fall the way you expect them to, and
Mhm.
that is certainly not a good way to live your life. You need to experience it. You need to fuck up. You need to not be afraid to fail. Okay, you should fail. Failure is a fundamental path, a part of life, and is a fundamental part of success. You should certainly um, not be experiencing any level of anxiety about this sort of thing at all at this point.
And when it comes up in your guys' relationship, I think that you just need to be like, "Hey, we'll talk about this more when it's appropriate, when the time comes, like later down the line." I think you guys are out here freaking out and giving each other like this anxiety for no reason.
Yeah. Well, we've had like discussions about it before, so but it's like something we both worried about. But so like basically what you're saying is like just